how did you all keep the non-COVID related parts of your business running as smoothly as possible during all of this? I'm sure that uh, there was a lot of pressure to make sure that everything possible was going towards the vaccine push and the cocktails respectively. But how do you make sure that regular parts of the business were still getting the attention they needed, even when you had extraordinary other work to do?
The first chunk of this whole thing really was only about that. Because the vaccine wasn't something that kind of came immediately to mind as quickly as we seem to have gotten into it. And what's remarkable is how, for all of us who remember how quickly this whole thing kind of snuck up on everybody, I reflect back that I was actually in China on business in December of 2019. And of all the things that I was doing there with our operation there, we weren't talking about the COVID, the coronavirus at all. We were actually then, we had an off-site planning meeting with the leadership team in January of that year, and nothing on that agenda dealt with this topic. So it's amazing how quickly this thing kind of came upon us. And the focus in the beginning really was all about how do you kind of keep your normal operations going. Started really with the colleagues themselves. We've got 80,000 some odd people around the world, and we had been dealing with this a little bit in China because we probably got 8 to 10,000 people there, so we were kind of dealing with it as a local issue. But the first few days and weeks were all about how to make the decisions to send people home, and what does that actually mean? Is it for 2 weeks or is it for a much more extended period of time? And so all the organization really was all about that and just keeping the normal trains on the tracks. I think real briefly, just because we were fortunate to have systems that leveraged them. We were fortunate for two reasons. One, that our digital stuff actually worked as well as it did. That was something we had never taxed in quite the same way. But then it was kind of remarkable how quickly we shifted into the ability to focus on running things, the normal things, before we even got into kind of trying to respond to coronavirus itself.